joining us. I guess probably a little bit depressed today, Carly, after the men losing nothing. And obviously they lost because they didn't have pants like that.
I know, right? The fancy pants, they're back. Everybody remembers them from the Vancouver Olympics.
Definitely.
And yes, Team Norway was wearing them.
So we get a pair out.
I would love a pair. If they're out there watching, send me some. I'll wear the fancy pants as long as they're Maple Leafs.
That's not going to happen. Yeah. Gerard, what are you looking forward to for the weekend?
Oh, looking like a pretty nice weekend. Another gorgeous day out there today. And let's see what it's looking like right about now. That temperature is sat nicely at +5 since about 3 o'clock. Expected to cool off a little bit as the evening wears on. 53% is that humidity. The winds out of the south-southwest, and they're gusting and will continue to gust a little later on, anywhere from 24 to 35 kilometers an hour. So 5 in our neck of the woods is 7 in the Lakeland region, and for you all in the Battlefords +8, and we're enjoying the benefit of the sunshine. There is a day coming up in the 5-day forecast that says we might have some rain. Jacob, we'll find out about that in our second installment. It's back to you.
Battleford's RCMP were called to a 2-vehicle crash yesterday morning. The collision happened at the intersection of Railway Avenue and Battleford Road. Police say 2 cars were racing at high speeds when a westbound vehicle on Railway Ave turning onto Battleford Road was struck by one of the speeding vehicles. As a result, one of the vehicles rolled onto its roof in the south end ditch. No serious injuries were reported. RCMP say they've charged 2 18-year-old males with dangerous driving while street racing. During the weeks before an election, there's no shortage of work for candidates to get done. As Clayton Brown explains, Liberal candidate Rob Fox's campaign is in full swing, and he's been hitting the ground hard, passing on his message.
Rob Fox is going door to door throughout the Westlock St. Paul constituency, talking with the local residents. He feels Harper has been focusing too much on economics and not enough on families.
Do we need the economics? Absolutely. Can we do this together? Yes. But we also have to bring it back to where it's a family value issue. It's do we do it for corporations, or do we do it for the ordinary citizen?
Fox says there's also a big infrastructure deficit, and municipalities have no source of revenue outside property and gas tax. He feels that's something that needs to be looked at.
One thing I am pushing within the party and within is a sustainable infrastructure fund for the municipalities. A fund like that can address that issue.
He says he's concerned about health care, saying Ignatieff has voiced his support for public health care, which Harper has yet to do.
I think that's a big issue, and it's not just a big issue now, but it's a big issue for the next couple of years and for our children and our grandchildren.
Fox was born and raised within the constituency, and he feels his knowledge of the area and its major industries will be a real benefit if he's elected.
I grew up on a farm, worked in the oil industry, probably the 2 major industries in the area. I'm still involved a little bit in farming. I've retired from the oil industry. I worked in it for 28 years.
In St. Paul, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
At the end of last month, it was announced that federal approval had been granted to the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops to install wireless residential meter reading systems. The County of Vermilion River has embraced the announcement and plans to phase them in as soon as possible. An aerial view of the County of Vermilion River would provide evidence of vast oil production activity, but you'd have to go underground to see the extent of the natural gas pipeline spiderwebbing out to various facilities and residential properties. Getting the meter information from those properties is going to get a whole lot easier for both the customers and the Alberta Gas Co-op members. Wireless readers will be retrofitted onto existing meters.
It's been in place in other countries, but Measurement Canada has stringent rules to do with measurement of the gas. So it was a long process. We had to do a lot of lobbying with the federal government.
Currently, the county relies heavily on its customers who note and submit readings. The new system would eliminate that process, and the fact is, many people regularly fail to report.
We're lacking usually on our monthly reads about 25% of our reads. So, on say 3,000 customers, we're lacking about 700 reads, which we have to get those reads in order to do the balancing of the system.
And getting those reads can be an onerous task. Switching to the wireless transmitters, which have 40 days of memory and can broadcast 2 to 3 kilometers, has obvious advantages.
We won't have to be in every yard to read the meters. Balancing the system is the main thing. we need to make sure that the gas we purchase is sold to an end customer.
Besides drastically reducing the amount of driving involved and the need to be on people's property, there are also benefits for the county staff who have no dedicated meter readers.
Environmentally, it'll be good. A lot less vehicles on the road. We won't be tearing up the roads. You know, moist conditions like this. The guys, we have other work that we have to do. So in order to pull them off to do meter reads is a little bit of an inconvenience.
The next step is a field study to determine if the information is best gathered using drivers on main roads or using existing and possibly newly constructed transmission towers. Then the automatic meter readers will begin to be installed. Lakeland College and the Learning Council got in the swing of Adult Learning Week by holding a spelling bee. As Janet Bridges explains, hopefully better than she spells, the lighthearted event was intended to bring awareness on an important issue.
Squawky, discordant or raucous? Squawky.
Okay, that narrows it down for me.
As a last-minute competitor in the spelling bee, I can't say that I thrived under the pressure, although at least I rose to the challenge. Mayor Jeff Mulligan was a last-minute cancel due to scheduling conflicts.
He may have chickened out. I'm not too sure. I know we've been very busy this week, and I know he did attend the Premier of Alberta's dinner last night in Edmonton, so maybe he was a little tired today. I'm not sure.
The deputy mayor fared much better than myself as a last-minute substitute, but although there were a lot of laughs, the event had a serious goal.
It's important for adults to realize that life is continuing as learning, and to celebrate the event, we're just encouraging adults to continue learning in whatever way it may be.
You can never stop learning. It's just the drive and the positive attitude.
International Adult Learners Week is being celebrated not only in Lloydminster but right across the world.
There's a significant percent of the population that has trouble, and so, you know, we're bringing attention to that through events like this, not just here today, but across the country.
As for the spelling bee, Charles Worth and librarian Michelle Duchek battled it out for the win, although you might say Charles Worth brought a certain vehemence to the competition.
Vehemence, vehemence.
So how does it feel to be crowned winner of the spelling bee?
Fabulous. I had some tough competition today, and I was really worried. There were some ringers in there, but, you know, stuck through it, got lucky, and finished it off. It was a lot of fun.
Jenna Bridges, Newcap News.
Well, after the break, we'll find out how much this year's Cutter Rally for Cancer raised. That story more coming up in 2 minutes.